the big fucking episode before the fucking election. Welcome everyone to the podcast where our parties do not have preferences at No Party Preference. My name is Josh. I'm here today with Adam.
Greetings.
And we're going to talk about our 2024 election predictions. But before we do that, help us out. Help a brother out and go to YouTube and subscribe so that we can have enough subscribers to do a live, breaking news broadcast. It'd be fucking excellent. And we can make all the other people who do live breaking news broadcasts on YouTube homeless and potentially having to drink their own pee to survive. That'd be great.
And all their belongings packed up in a bindle.
Yeah.
A hobo sack.
In a hobo sack. You can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine, Twitter/X Game Rage Mag. You can go follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram. And you can follow our good buddy Frank at Anime_Syndicate_podcast and go check all that out. So, all right.
Do the deed.
Do the deed. Do the dirt. Do the dirt. Do the deed. Okay, so 2024 election predictions. The major prediction I'm going to make for this, right, that I think I can almost guarantee, I don't think we get a resolution that day.
Don't think so either.
I don't even know if we get it the next day. I think we don't get like a final resolution till like, this may be an Al v. Gore, this may be a 2000 Al Gore, George Bush situation where it potentially may go to the Supreme Court, but then, I think it'll be different. Al Gore fucking pulled out of that and conceded before it fully went before the Supreme Court. But I do think that we may get to that point with this. Because if Trump loses, I don't think he's backing down. I think he's going to contest this shit as far as he can. And if Kamala loses, I don't think that they're going to back down either. Because I don't think this is the second female candidate that the Democrat Party has put out, right, for president. You can't lose two in a row. You can't go 0-2 with female candidates because then you'll guarantee there'll never be another one. Or there won't be another one for a very long time. So I think that the party itself needs to do everything it can to make sure she wins. So I think that whatever the outcome is, it won't be decided right away. I think most states won't be called. Most states will probably be called, but I think it's going to be like very close. And I do think that we're going to get a lot of states because I do believe that there is an automatic recount clause. What is the margin for automatic recount U.S. elections? Because I know that there's a number. Says it's a percentage of votes, but what's the percentage? So I guess it's different by every state. Okay, so here it is. So Alabama has less than or equal to 0.5%. So if it's within 0.5%, automatic recount. In Alaska, the only way you get an automatic recount is if they're actually tied. If the votes are actually tied, then you get an automatic recount. In Arizona, it's less than or equal to any of the following. 0.1% of the votes. These are different. General election, yeah. California doesn't have one. We don't have an automatic recount clause here, but I think you can just initiate a recount anyways. I don't think you need to have an automatic recount. So I think that this shit in some of these states is going to come down to the wire. There's already been in Arizona, and Arizona is one of those states I think is going to be a dicey one because you think it's typically going to be red. Well, Maricopa County is a surprisingly very blue section of Arizona, which has a lot of people in it. Mm. And supposedly someone burned down a USPS center or sections of where they were storing mail-in ballots. So supposedly there's already going to be controversy now. There's already a problem because some mail-in ballots seem to have been burned and lost. So now what do you do?
And then the rolling list of people that have voted in the past being removed from registration weeks before weeks before the election when it's like once you've been registered for like in years past, in most cases like you don't need to
re-register every year.
yeah, but in some states, I don't remember which ones, people have been removed entirely and they have to register again. And this was weeks before. This is weeks before the election, not being able to do a mail-in ballot and having to go in person and probably do all the bullshit and probably being discouraged because knowing how Hawaiians are going to be the day of the election, or if they have early voting, maybe. Well, I don't know. There's numerous things that could happen. There's Ted Cruz versus what's that gentleman's name? Is it something Allred? Is the guy that's competing against him?
Oh, in Texas?
Yeah.
Ted Cruz opponent 2024.
I think it's Allred.
Yeah, Allred.
Is his name Colin Allred or is it, what is it?
Colin Allred.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see how that goes.
I mean, because all these, what is it, gerrymandering that?
They changed the districts to make it red or blue or whatever, you know?
Because that's something that's happened in Texas before that.
Yeah, that happens all the time, I think.
Districts get redrawn up so that it ends up. I mean, dude, you have to see the photos of some of these fucking districts drawn up where it's like within one city or whatever, or cities, fucking. It's like one major portion of the city, and then it like extends out to like a more rural area or some shit, and it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is that?
That is crazy. Like, why? Again, it's to fuck the.
Yeah, it's
to change the result. It's to alter.
Because if it was just limited to like the actual natural district, like if it's like an urban area, right? Yeah. And you're a smaller fucking if you're a smaller person running for with senator or a representative position, you're like, how am I going to compete with somebody that already has the urban vote or like a very populous area? Fuck it, let's incorporate these other little portions of the city and maybe that'll even out fucking me getting elected or some shit or whatever.
Yeah, I do think that this is going to be probably the highest voter turnout.
Yeah, probably since
ever. I think this will be the highest. Basically, when you look at they only kept track of stats since 1932, but for presidential elections. But if you look at the total, there's two turnout percentages. One of the voting age population and then one of the voting eligible population. Mm-hmm. So based on the voting eligible population, 2020 was the highest, 65.9%. I mean, 2016 was 59.2%. So the highest it's ever been was last year. And I think it'll be that high again, but higher. I think we're going to get, because this was like 6% higher than the year before, or the election before in 2016. I think we may get into the 70%, maybe even higher, which again, that's also, I feel like, going to delay the results because there's just going to be so many fucking votes to count that they're going to be like, oh, fuck, like, well, and if it's close in a lot of these states, it's probably because I think the candidates can like request recounts or something like that. I think there's a mechanism that they can utilize to get a recount.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, Kamala Harris has been campaigning hard in fucking what they call the blue wall, which I think is Michigan, Wisconsin, and Virginia. I have to look that up real quick.
So the recount process, as of November the 2020 election, 43 states have allowed a candidate to request a recount. There's 35 states where a voter or group of voters can request the recount. Generally, it says that they occur when there is a close margin of victory. But I wonder if it says candidates, blah, 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 candidate requested recounts. Vote margin required for election recounts. This is for the required one, but...
Just to interject real quickly, it is Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. I don't know, especially with Donald Trump shitting on fucking Detroit, the city. I'm curious to see if like Michigan I mean, I think Michigan has been typically expected to vote in blue, but like Pennsylvania is one of those states that's flip-floppy. Well, anyways, the point being that Kamala Harris has been campaigning where Hillary Clinton fell short
Yeah.
in 2016. That was like the one of the areas that she failed was that those three states, and especially Pennsylvania. It's like that's probably a big fucking state that.
Yeah, and in those three states, there is no margin required for a candidate to initiate a recount. So you could just initiate a recount, and that's why I said I think it's gonna push this into later days. Like we're not gonna get a full winner, a clear winner by November 6th or 7th. It might even go into later in the month. It might even go maybe even into, because technically I think the first Congress, as we learned in past episodes, the first Congress of the year, the first thing that they do of the new Congress coming in the 2025, they certify the presidential election from the previous year or the previous few months. Like that's the first thing they do. One of the first things they do. So we'll get to, it might not even be until then, or maybe that'll get delayed. Who knows? Depending on how long this goes out. I mean, January 25th, I think, is when the president takes office for whoever the winner is going to be would take office then. So who knows? Who knows how it goes? Who knows how long this takes? I mean, shit, there's only a couple of months. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, after the election happens, it's like 2.5 months for them to figure it out and determine who the winner is. And if people contest it, or if one of the if Trump, let's say he loses and he sues, because that's what like George Bush did or Al Gore did, he sued, and then that's when it goes to the Supreme Court. And so it could have delayed. If Al Gore would have pushed it, it would have delayed the certification of the election until after. So Bill Clinton would have essentially remained in office, I think, until. So who knows? Who knows how this is going to play out? But I definitely, and honestly, I really don't know who's going to fucking win, because there's so much fucking rhetoric on both sides and people are so fucking incensed about it. I really couldn't say which side the country's going to lean on. I do believe 100% it's going to be insanely close. I don't think it's going to be a blowout like a lot of people that are on either side are saying it's going to be. I think if it is a blowout for Trump or it's a blowout for Kamala Harris, I think that's a clear indication that the system is 100% rigged. There's no fucking way it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be super close. That's just my opinion. But
That's one man's opinion.
it is. It's one real American's opinion.
I want to know if there's going to be people standing outside centers that are going to be counting the ballot votes. Because there is one over by, I think it's what is it?
We should just.
It's not Baldwin. It's not Baldwin Park, but it's just. I think it's like
area?
El Monte.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's
somewhere around there. It's actually closer to Pico. Pico, like Montebello, or nah, it's too far. City of Industry, Pico. There's a voting center. I'm like, man, wouldn't it be funny if there's some people turn out during election night? Not just that location, because I'm sure there's numerous ballot counting centers that are going to be.
True.
But I don't know. I'm just kind of curious if we're going to get some kind of shenanigans where there's going to be some rambunctious people looking to interfere with.
It's quite possible.
With what's going to happen on election night, especially with counting ballots. They're like, oh, you're not doing it right, or whatever excuse people are going to come up with to interfere and interject to sway the fucking election. Yeah,
I definitely think that there's going to be some fucking shenanigans or fuckery going on in one shape or another. So, I don't know. Who the fuck knows? Do you have a prediction on who you think might win?
I think Kamala Harris is going to win.
Yeah, you think she's going to take it?
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to be 80-20 in terms of like the popular vote, or what the electorate vote's going to be.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be a convincing win, and that's even considering, for me, at least for me personally, I think because there are numerous polls from both sides, and it's like polls, I think, don't really mean all that much. And I think a lot of people have that idea that polls are just kind of attempting to persuade public opinion, because if you look at who funds them or who's putting them together, it's like, how can I really take you at face value if you're known to be more liberal and you're saying that Kamala Harris is gonna convincingly win based on data that you gathered on a sample of people that maybe you just maybe you got people that would be aligned in that political alignment.
Yeah.
That just kind of skews the information, or rather the data that's being collected. So it's like, oh yeah, she's gonna convincingly win because of the exit polls and all this shit. And it's like, that's not really the truth, because it's like it's the data being fucking obscured or some shit.
Right. Yeah. And that's probably, and
that's not just for her. I'm talking about even for the Republican, any polls regarding like conservative polls or anything like that. Yeah. Or they try to portray themselves as being impartial, but you can see who is being influenced by what. So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what are you looking at?
Oh, I'm looking at. We'll talk about that later. I was looking at a wrestling thing because I found something I wanted to show you, but we'll look at it later. We'll talk about it later.
All right.
Or you could go listen to the Game Rage Wrestling podcast if you like wrestling. But anyways, I think that's a problem. Is everything's obscured right now, and each side is saying it's gonna be a blowout by us and this and that. And it's just like, man, fuck you guys. You're fucking just bullshitting us to try to make it think like. It's that like trickery where it's like, oh, people want to be winners, so they're like, oh, if you're on the fence and they're saying they're gonna win, well, fuck, I'll just vote for them, so I'm on the winning team,
Or I'm gonna not vote because these people have convinced me that
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly. So fuck. I don't know. All I know is this shit's gonna get wild. I feel like there's gonna be some fallout from whatever the results are.
Yeah, if there was one day I was dreading this year, it was this month.
Yeah.
And it's going to be this day.
Yeah.
November 5th, man.
Remember the 5th of November.
Yeah.
Oh, man, with gunpowder, treason, and plot.
Man, maybe it's time we start putting on some fucking Guy Fawkes masks and fucking raise hell.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You might be right. But anyways.
Sweet Lady Anarchy.
Yep. Oh, our sweet mistress. But anyways, you got anything else to add? I think this pretty much covers it.
She makes no promises. I don't remember the whole fucking monologue that he gives about anarchy, but I'm definitely in the camp of like what you were saying, like fuck the government, dude.
Yeah,
self-governing is the way to go.
It's the way to go. Really
eliminate all parties. We just govern ourselves.
Absolutely, that's the future of America, governing ourselves. True freedom. Anyways, if you want to support True Freedom, go to Game Rage Magazine on YouTube and like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to follow us on Instagram and TikTok, Game Rage Magazine, Twitter/X, Game Rage Mag. Follow Frank at @MA_SkinTheKit_podcast, and you can follow Adam at AllGasNoTrashOfficial on Instagram. All right, well, that'll do it for us. And, the next time we'll talk to you guys will be in about 10 days after the election, the week of after the election, to see what happens. Maybe we'll have a result for you. I don't think we will, but we'll fucking see.
If we're slurring words, it's because
we're drunk.
It's 2 a.m.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. Catch you guys on the next one.